Hey, what up, fam? Man, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this in my previous videos, but I've been a fan of the NBA since fucking 90, no, yeah, the early 90s, about more like late 80s to early 90s. I'm 40, turning 42 in a month or so, and back in the days, I mean, the GOAT for me was Michael Jordan. Plain and simple, Michael Jordan. He's the guy that drew everybody to the NBA that wasn't already. He's a figure that transcended the sport that he was in. Kind of like Bruce Lee, you know, in every field, I believe. Not every field, but in a lot of fields, when one person becomes famous for something beyond the scope of the fame that type of something allows for, then they become a figure that is larger than life, larger than that sport. And Michael Jordan was that guy. He's not just that guy that had basketball skills, basketball greatness. He's also that guy that also has skills that are also great beyond basketball. And that thing would be his mentality, his drive, his hunger, his charm. I mean, he's that guy that when you see him outside of the basketball court, he's the guy that people tends to gravitate to, assuming you don't hate him already because of the preconceived notion that you had about him prior. But he's that guy that everybody wants to be like, whether you're into basketball or not, because he's got that charm. He's got that smile. He will get those ladies. He will get anything that he wants to get, because he has a strong combination of wise energy that I feel a lot of great NBA players don't have. And therefore, with these greatness in multiple facets of a person, a personality, I consider him the GOAT, not only when I was first into basketball or during my relationship with basketball, but even up to today, having observed LeBron, having observed Kevin, having observed Larry Bird or Johnson or Kareem, you know, all those guys. Kareem's a little bit beyond my time, but I definitely watched a lot of his videos and assessed his character in general. So all that said, the GOAT today for me, hands down, when observing not just only basketball skills, because to me that is just only one facet of a character that makes a great GOAT like basketball person. Speaking of skills, you know, it's like skills today far exceeded skills back in the Jordan days, and skills in the Jordan days far exceeded skills, generally speaking, that is, back in the Wilt Chamberlain days. You know, people over time dribbles better. People over time shoot better. Not necessarily percentage, but hey, even percentage. But take, for example, something like a 3-point, you know, shooting percentage or 3-point attempts, or just the mentality of 3 points being as a high percentage as a 2-pointer, which it seems to be today's state of mind when it comes to basketball, thanks to Steve Kerr and Stephen Curry. I mean, Stephen Curry is the product of that, but Steve Kerr definitely, being a 3-point shooter, encouraged it and took it to the next level when he got to the Warriors. But even dribbling. I mean, Jordan is not crazy when it comes to dribbling, because after Jordan, you know, guys that came along like Allen Iverson became better at dribbling, faster, much more street-oriented, you know, with the deceptive skills. Then after Iverson, you got better dribblers that came along. Kyrie Irving, even Steph Curry, and then you got Harden. All these guys are magicians with, you know, like moving the ball around. And so these skills have gotten better. So people like LeBron, when put up against Kobe, put up along with Kobe and other players to match up against Michael Jordan, it's like, to me, skill wise, those those are debatable for sure. Even though I think that Jordan skills could be not as polished as a LeBron or a Kobe Bryant, or or some other players, and but nonetheless, skills is only one facet of what makes a GOAT, in my opinion. The area that is most important for me is the mindset, is the level of fearlessness that you have. So when you look someone in the eye, directly in the eye, is there any budge in you? Do you know who you are? Like, your insecurity is going to show every time you look someone in the eyes. And you can tell when you walk around the streets. You can just tell. It's like, if people aren't comfortable with looking other people in the eye, there's a lot of insecurities there that they're not even aware of. The eyes don't lie. You look at them in the eyes straight up, they'll tell you whether or not you have any insecurities, whether or not you know yourself enough to confront those insecurities. So in that manner, fearlessness with Jordan compared to a Kobe, Jordan compared to a LeBron, it's like he's at a different level, fam. He's way at a different level. And in that way, when he sees, and that's why whenever you talk to players or you hear their interview, they always say they feared Michael Jordan. People don't fear Kobe. They don't fear LeBron. They do maybe here and there, but not just in general, And not everybody fears Michael Jordan, but majority of them do. Because the fearlessness is one aspect of the mind. The other aspect is he's got a strong sense of humility, man. Humility is a strong asset. It's scary strong, very taken under, very underrated. Because with humility, you can lower your esteem to the level where it'll allow you to learn a lot from your surroundings, your peers, your environment. Just knowing that you have a lot more to learn all the time. And he's definitely got the humility for that. And it's next level stuff. And the combination of his fearlessness along with his humility level, to me, it rounds out a person to the godly level. Of course, there are a lot of people in the NBA with a good amount of fearlessness, good amount of humility, but we're talking about degrees here. And with Jordan, his degree of fearlessness is at the very top. Humility is very down there, relatively the lowest for the highest level of fearlessness he has. So the combination of the two is the strongest combination of a mentality that I've seen, not only in the NBA, but just in general, so. And what other mental aspects do those things contribute to? For me, also, his charm. Man, charm is huge. You ever heard of a snake charmer? They charm. They pretty much will mentally get you in the state where you are a little bit hypnotized about their likability, hypnotized about the present moment, that you kind of forget or kind of lose sense of yourself in that moment. And so with all the things that his level of fearlessness, along with his level of humility, that contributes to things like his charm, contributes to his tenacity, and all kinds of stuff. Man, it's like, without a doubt, to me, goodness Christ, it's not even close. If you put these guys head up, one-on-one in their prime, GOAT will take over. 100% GOAT will take over. And especially in a team environment where it doesn't just rely on your skills, also rely on your leadership, your charming ability to lead the whole pack. Yeah, and not to lead the whole pack outright because everyone believes you so hard, not just only because of your skill level, but because your whole well-rounded character, your whole well-rounded mentality. That's like, this is a team game at the end of the day. That's what it boils down to. How much can you corral your whole pack to be on the same page? How can you inspire them as a leader to be on the same page to overcome another pack of five, pretty much, in the game of basketball? So that's it, man. If you can have your own mentality as far as who's GOAT, because everyone's allowed to. You know, you can say fucking Brian Scott. You can say the worst player. If to you, these variables that you have labeled, defined as GOAT to you, like the best looking dude, the fucking most muscular dude, to me, he's the greatest of all time because that's the variable that I've used to define what a GOAT is. Hey, you're allowed to do that. It's your world, man. So when you do that, that's the GOAT to you. But based on the definition that I've given you, the mentality that at the end of the day will allow you to win the most championship because of all the combination of skills, the mentality, along with the chip on the shoulder, of course. They all seem to have an equal amount of chip, in my opinion. Even though Jordan seems to have the biggest chip. From what it seems like to me, then I give it to Jordan all day, 100% GOAT talk. And I think a lot of people already know that. You know, when they assessed the whole picture, they would say GOAT. ESPN definitely feels like, to me, they would know that. It's just that they get paid a lot for bringing up any kind of subject that makes people talk more, question more, you know, in regards to the NBA or just sports in general. Okay, so those guys wouldn't be unbiased when it comes to GOAT talk, but real talk, it's Jordan, 100%. All right, yeah, to me at least, and to a lot of y'all folks too, if you agree with some of those variables that I used to define what GOAT is. All right, y'all, thanks for listening.